A day in the life of Princess Louise, sculpting scandal and snubbing tradition, aka Queen Victoria's least compliant daughter and the marble, chisel of chaos. Welcome back to Past People, the place where we unearth royals with more sass than sense and more ambition than their mothers could handle. Today, we're cracking open the wildly underrated, wildly unconventional life of Princess Louise, Queen Victoria's sixth child, fourth daughter, and a royal who straight up said, "No thank you, I will not sit in your box of expectations. I'll be out back carving statues and ignoring your opinions." If you're looking for embroidery, docility, and playing piano at Windsor, move along. Louise had a sculpting studio, a secretive marriage, and enough artistic angst to start her own bohemian rebellion. Let's begin. Louise awakens mildly hungover but beautiful time 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Louise rises late by royal standards. She's not her sister Helena, dutifully awake before dawn to fetch blotting paper for Queen Victoria. No, Louise slept in, probably in a cloud of incense and scandal. Her room is full of unfinished sketches, marble dust, and dramatic shawls flung over chairs. There are artist tools on her desk, letters from art students, possibly a banned book or two, a very artistic mess. A lady-in-waiting tries to announce the morning's agenda. Louise replies, "Tell Mother I'm at my studio." She is not. She is still in her dressing gown, staring wistfully out a window and contemplating how to move to Paris without anyone noticing. The sculptor royal time, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Louise heads to her studio, yes, her sculpture studio. She was trained under professional artists. She exhibited her work under a pseudonym. She actually worked, like physically chisel in hand, hauling stone blocks kind of work. Today she's working on a bust, possibly of her brother Leopold, possibly of some beautiful society woman she had a huge emotional attachment to. It's unclear. She won't say. She'll just smile mysteriously and go back to chiselling. Court gossip? Boiling. Because royal women weren't supposed to have jobs. They certainly weren't meant to be alone in studios with half-naked models. And Louise didn't care. Lunch with her eyebrows raised time, 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Louise reluctantly attends lunch with her family, Queen Victoria, maybe Helena, maybe a smattering of grandchildren. Victoria makes some comment about Louise needing to be more feminine. Louise says something like, "I've just spent the morning shaping marble with my bare hands. I assure you I'm quite woman enough." Tension. Helena drops her spoon. Beatrice whispers, "Oh my God." Victoria pretends not to hear. But she definitely heard. Louise dabs her mouth with a napkin like she hasn't just set fire to the room. Art, angst and afternoon disappearances. Time, 1:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. The afternoon is for escape. She might disappear into the city for art gallery visits, host meetings with feminist thinkers under the guise of charitable planning, flirt with journalists and deny it later, or vanish entirely into a secret carriage ride with no itinerary. You will not find her darning socks or sewing altar cloths. She might be writing a letter to someone named Susan or Francis or Arthur, with passionate but ambiguous language that historians still argue about. She definitely is avoiding another request from her mother to sit still for a portrait. The "Fine, I'll marry him" chapter. Time, flashback, interlude. Let's rewind. Louise did something absolutely chaotic by 19th century standards. She married a commoner. Well, okay, he was titled later, but John Campbell, Marquess of Lorne, was the first non-royal to marry into the British royal family in centuries. Everyone was scandalised. Why did she do it? Was it love? Was it rebellion? Was it a quiet way to get out of the palace? No one knows. Their marriage was complicated. Some say Lorne was gay. Some say Louise had affairs. Some say they lived largely apart after a few years. All we know is Queen Victoria hated it. Canadian chaos. Time 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Louise did her time as the Vice-Regal Consort of Canada. While Lorne was Governor-General, she became Canada's First Lady. She hated the cold, she loved the art scene. She got concussion in a sleigh crash and didn't tell anyone for days. She did not stop being extra for a single second. She painted watercolours, attended gallery openings, and made polite fun of Canadian architecture in her diary. She eventually left and never looked back. Evenings of elegance and emotional walls. Time 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Back in Britain, Louise spent her evenings hosting artistic salons. Her guests are sculptors, poets, painters, and a few extremely beautiful women that biographers pretend were just friends. She's aloof, witty, always slightly out of reach. She loves deeply but rarely says so. She never discusses her personal life in public, and she'll never confirm or deny the many rumours, romantic, political or otherwise, that swirl around her. She ends the night by scribbling in her journal. It's coded, cryptic and fabulous. Sleep, eventually. Time 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Louise lies in bed beneath a velvet coverlet, staring at the ceiling. She's probably thinking about artistic legacy, women's rights, her strained relationship with Queen Victoria, and whether she left her favourite chisel in the sculpture garden again. She sighs. The palace is too quiet. She dreams of Florence, of marble, of being free. Princess Louise never fit the mould. She didn't want to marry a prince. She didn't want to spend her life writing letters for her mother. She didn't want to sit still, stay quiet, or stitch silently. She wanted more. She lived long, outlived her siblings, outlived her husband, outlived the Victorian age itself. And though history tried to box her in as a footnote, Louise left behind sculptures, secrets, and just enough scandal to keep us guessing. She was the artist royal, the rebel duchess, the one who never explained herself. And really, we wouldn't want her any other way.